Thank you so much for the nice introduction, and thank you for inviting me to talk about early childhood research. So I have one question. We cannot talk about early childhood without talking about kids, right? So raise your hand if you used to be a child. Anybody? Okay, good to know. So you all know what it's like to be a child. So today I'm going to introduce the new academy that we have in our college. Is called Nebraska Academy for Early Childhood Research. I have 9 minutes. However, I was brave enough to include
we grow up,
a video.
We want to be Olympic swimmers and swim coaches.
My name is Zinkin and I want to be a scientist.
My name is Ava, and when I grow up, I want to be a lawyer.
When I grow up, I want to serve my country.
My name is Isabella, and I want to be a doctor.
A football player. My name is Matthew, and when I grow up, I want to be a dermatologist.
When I grow up, I want to be in the NBA.
My name is Mario, and I want to be a doctor when I grow up.
I want to be a mommy.
My name is Preston, and I want to be a professional horseback rider when I grow up.
I want to be a doctor.
My name is Colin, and I want to be a football player.
Hi, my name is Molly, and when I grow up, I want to be a weather scientist.
I want to be a scientist.
I love that last video, last child's facial expression, because we all wonder sometimes what we want to be when we grow up. I wonder about it too. Another reason that I really like his expression is that kind of reflects a lot of imagination that he might have in his mind, and also so many possibilities that he has, so many options. So NAECR, Nebraska Academy for Early Childhood Research, our mission is to engage in, generate, and support interdisciplinary research to benefit young children ages 0 to 8 and enhance their environment within which they learn and grow. So as I was introduced as a person who does early childhood research, who enjoy asking questions to young kids, I'm going to introduce 3 broad goals of our academy by using "we wonder" statement. So first of all, we wonder how we can advance the scientific knowledge base of the issues related to early childhood. So we want to generate and extend knowledge base so that we can provide information about educational strategies, intervention strategies that work best in early childhood settings. We also want to provide evidence-based approaches to deal with problems and issues that we have in early childhood settings. We also wonder how we can enhance the scope, quality, and impact of our interdisciplinary research. So we collaborate a lot to get the answer to our research questions that are big and huge. But with a team, we try to provide a lot of impacts on the actual setting where children grow and learn. Finally, we wonder how we can translate research findings so that we can support the health and well-being of young children, including everybody who's involved in that process of learning and development, teachers, professionals, parents, and community members, and so on. And we want to make a greatest impact on their everyday lives using some practical solutions and ideas learned from our research. So this doesn't really include all the content areas and concepts and research studies and settings that we work with. However, to be able to benefit our young children and who's involved in their lives, we need to understand what those things, like important concepts are. What are the things that we need to really learn more about? So in our academy, we have researchers who studies children's temperament, executive functions, early academic skills, including literacy, language, math, and science, mental health and how that's impact children's social relationships and interactions in those educational settings and care settings, spatial cognitions and how that's related to problem-solving skills, how children's brain develops, what are some of the individual differences that impact their learning and development. So these are some of the content areas that we cover as researchers in our academy. And then one of the broad goals was to enhance environments where they grow and learn. So we work with all these multiple environments that work for these young children and families and professionals. So that includes homes, so parent-child relationships, how you raise an infant so that the infant can think and grow in an appropriate, like in a proper, optimal way. Early care and education settings that include child care settings, infant toddler cares, and preschools. Public schools that includes K to grade 3 when we talk about early childhood. In clinics, some of the special education clinics, communication clinics, and community settings. So this is not an exhaustive list, but these are some of the environments that we want to engage so that we can promote the development and learning of our children, young children. And we collaborate with each other. Collaboration needs to occur at all levels and all domains, so that interdisciplinary research includes the researchers from the areas of child development, early childhood education, family sciences, special education, educational administration, extension, and we always talk about that translation piece, so outreach and engagement is another piece. And there are so many other aspects and domains that needs to be included in this diagram. So, sometimes we ask this question to our kids with that anxious eyes, and like, okay, what is my child gonna say about their future? So what do you want to be when you grow up? So let me share a personal story, a conversation that I had with my son. He's currently 9 years old, so he's a little over the early childhood age. When I asked what he wants to be when he grows up at the age of 4, he said Thomas the Train. And inside my mind, I'm like, that's a machine, that's a train. It's not really a person. Then he explains that Thomas is always nice to his friends. Sometimes he gets into trouble, but he has some good ideas to solve the problems. So I'm like, okay, that's a huge relief. Like, I'm okay, I can buy that idea. And then at the age of 5 and 6, he wanted to become a preschool teacher and then a kindergarten teacher. That tells you something about how important it is for him to have that experiences in school and how positive that might have been. Okay, I'll have you guess. Guess what he wanted to become when he turned 8 years old. Not a surprise. Second grade teacher. However, this time he added more information. He said, I want to become a second grade teacher at my school, in my community, in my city of Lincoln, and in my state. That made me really happy because that means that he's feeling like he's cared by really nice people and he's being respected. His efforts have been acknowledged. And he cares about his community. Like, it's really important to have the connection between himself and where he lives and who's taking care of him. So that's really the exciting moment that I had, although the dream was kind of in the same line of becoming a teacher. So as long as he says, I want to become a 7th grade teacher when he turns 12 years old, and I was like, okay, so that's a good sign. And we want them to think like that, right? So Nebraska Academy for Early Childhood Research, we support research that helps our children dream and dream big. And we aspire to make Nebraska an exciting place for all the young kids and their families and all the early childhood professionals who work with young kids. And we do that by generating ideas, research-based ideas, disseminating our research findings in a form that everybody can understand, and also by making the greatest impacts on the actual lives of young children, parents and families, and all the professionals who work with young kids. So here's my last question for all of you. What are we doing today to help our future leaders dream? What are you and I doing today to help them have a bigger dream and have become a future leaders of our community and the state. Thank you.